Welcome to Medill Sports Talk, where we break down the news this week for the sports you love. I'm Alexis Colmer, and today I'm joined by Lauren Rosen and Richard Foster Shelton. And it's award season, well, not really, and that is why we're having the If the Season Ended Today awards. We have a group of very esteemed voters, aka our classmates, who voted on this year's NBA awards. I have the results right here in these makeshift envelopes, and then Lauren and Rich are going to discuss the results. You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
Born ready.
All right, let's get to it. So, first up, we have Coach of the Year. Who has led their squad this year in a way that puts him above the rest? The award for Coach of the Year goes to Houston Rockets' Mike D'Antoni. So, Lauren, did they make the right decision?
The voters made an excellent decision, Alexis. Mike D'Antoni won Coach of the Year last year, but I will say that this season matters more because his team is actually number one. And if the season ended today, the If the Season Ended Today awards, the Rockets would end up on top. They wouldn't be tested in the playoffs. We know D'Antoni has a bit of a questionable record when it comes to summer ball, but if the season ended today, they'd be on top. So great choice, voters.
Rich?
The thing about this race is that Mike D'Antoni actually won this award last year, so I don't see what's the point in giving him Coach of the Year 2 years in a row. I would actually give it to someone who has outperformed expectations, Dwayne Casey of the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors have tied last season's win total already with 14 games to go. They're on a 10-game winning streak, and they're number one in the Eastern Conference. A lot of people expected them to maybe fall back a little bit. Could have called them the Fallen Kingdom, but it's looking like Jurassic World.
All right, good takes, guys. Now, every starting five needs a sixth man, but who was the best sixth man this year? And the award goes to, rip the envelope, Lou Will. Rich, did they make the right choice?
Oh, no question. Lou Will, he's averaging a career high in points and assists, and this is his 13th season. I think that he has done a good job of supplying whatever his team needs. He's been on 6 teams, but this year he's actually leading the Clippers to an unexpected playoff spot. So I would definitely give it to Lou Will.
Lauren?
I agree as well, and I have a little known stat for Lou Williams. Lou Williams is shooting 87.3% from the line. This season he has shot 418 free throws, which puts him in the top 10 NBA players in free throws attempted. Now, everyone in the top 10 is a starter. Lou Williams, a sixth man. So that has to say something about how productive he's been behind the line and from the field.
All right, so next up is Rookie of the Year. We've had a lot of fun with this year's rookie class. The Rookie of the Year race is basically a two-man race between Mitchell and Simmons. Who do you guys think the Academy picked?
Well, if it was up to me, I'm going with Simmons, and no question, Simmons.
Lauren?
I'm sure they picked Simmons as well, but I have to disagree.
Okay, let's see who they picked. Donovan Mitchell.
Oh!
Lauren, what do you think?
Now, Donovan Mitchell is my pick because he is leading the Jazz, his team, to the playoffs. He's their leading scorer. He's scoring 19.8 points per game. And, for a team that's not so great, well, good, but not fabulous. They have the same exact amount of wins as the Cavaliers do. That's 39. The Cavs' best player, LeBron James. The Jazz' best player, Donovan Mitchell. I think anytime you're comparing a rookie to the king in any way is a triumph for that rookie.
So, Rich?
Well, first off, I disagree with you comparing Donovan Mitchell to LeBron James.
I said anytime you can even mention them together.
All right, so here's the thing. We've seen rookies average around 20 points before. We've seen rookies lead their teams to playoff spots before. This happens almost every other year. But how often do you have a chance to witness a guy post 8 triple-doubles over his rookie season, which is the second most all-time behind Oscar Robertson, and then also join Oscar Robertson and Magic Johnson as the only players to score 1,000 points, rebound 500 times, and get 500 assists in his rookie season? Ben Simmons, he's not only the best rookie this year, but he's one of the best rookies we've ever seen. So I don't see how the Academy got this wrong, but I hope that over the summer that the NBA gets this right.
And then what do you guys think about it technically being Ben Simmons' first year playing, but his second year in the league? Where do you guys stand on that little caveat?
I mean, I think you know where I stand. Anytime a player has a year, even if you're on the bench the entire year, that is NBA experience. That's watching how the league plays. That's practicing beside some of the best players on the planet. Donovan Mitchell was at Louisville last year. Good team, but he came into his rookie year. Expectations were tepid at best, and now he's in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. That's a way bigger triumph than it is for a player that's already been in the NBA for a year.
Rich?
Well, to Alexis, I mean, I don't see how you can say that he is not a rookie. He hasn't played any actual regular season games prior to this season. He was injured all last year. To me, it's kind of like when teams draft European players and they spend a couple of years playing overseas, and then they eventually come over stateside, and then they're considered rookies, like a Ricky Rubio or somebody. We give them rookie status, so I don't see why we wouldn't give Ben Simmons the same.
I understand him getting the rookie status as his first season actually playing on an NBA floor, but you can't deny that that's a huge advantage for the players that have been there observing and playing with those guys in practice.
Yeah. All right, next award. So, last but not least, definitely the most prestigious award, Most Valuable Player. The Academy chose James Harden. Thoughts?
I mean, to be honest, James Harden, he's had a great season, but this is not an outlier season for him. He's had MVP type seasons before, probably for the last 5 years. I also think that if this is the most valuable player award, then we can't give it to Harden. If he wasn't on his team, they would still make the playoffs. They will still be a good team, seeing as they have Chris Paul, Clint Capella, and arguably the best bench in the league. I would actually give this award to Damian Lillard. Lillard, he's been the best closer in the league this season. He's finally starting to get some recognition. Right now, the Blazers are on a 11-game winning streak. They've beaten the Warriors twice through this winning streak. They've beaten the Cavs, they've beaten the Thunder, they've beaten the Timberwolves. They're not just beating up on lower competition. Lillard actually nobody expected the Trailblazers to be in the third seed in the West. So I don't see why we should give it to James Harden.
All right, Lauren.
I see why we should give it to James Harden, Richard. Look, first of all, it's not the best player in the last 4 weeks. It's the best player of this season. The most valuable player of this season has been James Harden. At the end of the day, Harden is looking at a #1 team under his leadership for the first time. I know he's had 3 NBA caliber seasons, but this season he's actually leading his team to the top. Richard, you're probably right saying that the Rockets would be in the playoffs without James Harden, but would they be the #1 team in the league? Absolutely not. I got to give it to James.
All right, so that concludes our If the Season Ended Today awards. But now it's time for the quick shoot around. Rich and Lauren are going to be playing the Academy this time and give out some awards. So first up, who had the most memorable moment this season so far? Rich, you go first.
I definitely think that Giannis Antetokounmpo had the most memorable moment when he actually cleared Tim Hardaway. How often do you get to see a guy jump over someone who's 6'6" and put the ball through the rim? Like, this was actually a dunk contest dunk in game. No question, Giannis.
All right, Lauren.
And while I agree with you that that was an iconic moment during the game, for me, I have to go with the statements that DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love have given in the last few weeks about mental health. I think at the end of the day, 5-10 years from now, when we look at memorable moments from the 2017-18 season, we're going to remember the way that these guys broke barriers for their fans, for their colleagues in the league, in taking away the stigma that talking about mental health has. So I'm always going to remember the two of them for doing that this season.
Those are both excellent choices. And now, what player has the best social media presence? Rich?
To me, it's Joel Embiid. He got a chance to kind of develop his social media chops the first couple of seasons when he was out injured for the entire season. And then now he's really hit his stride. Seems like after every game, he's trolling someone that he just defeated or he just vanquished with a posterizing dunk. I remember he came hard at Russell Westbrook. And then also he's shooting shots, not only shooting shots at possible female friends, but also he's shooting shots at free agents that he wants to join his team. I know that he told LeBron that he wants him this summer, and we'll see if it comes to fruition.
Lauren?
Well, speaking of LeBron, I'm actually going to go with LeBron for my best social media of the year. We've talked about it so much. It started the season with Arthur the Aardvark and his clenched fists and what does it mean, and we keep talking about LeBron on social media. And sure enough, as soon as that talk died down, it's LeBron congratulating himself in advance on getting 30,000 points. So I got to give it to LeBron. He keeps the people talking. Even in his 30s, he has a huge social media presence. Good for him for staying relevant.
All right, next award. The best team uniform ad patch pairing and why? Lauren?
Well, I think I got this one. My favorite uniform patch is on the Clippers. The Clippers have Bumble, and as we all know, they went through a breakup with Chris Paul this summer, and then another one that's still raw with Blake Griffin. I have to say, putting Bumble on their jerseys really shows that they're willing to put themselves back out there and start dating again with other players, and I'm just really happy for them for moving on from those tough breakups.
All right, Rich.
I'm going to go to the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are sponsored by Goodyear, the tire company, which has resulted in an awesome alternate uniform for them. And then also, they haven't had a great year, but they've had a good year.
That's excellent. All right, so it is March Madness. So what NCAA player could make an immediate impact on an NBA playoff team or a team making a run for the playoffs? Lauren?
I think I'm going to have to go with DeAndre Ayton on this one. As we all saw last night, his season came to a pretty abrupt end despite being part of a players program. It's sad to see him end his season, but last night LeBron James also talked about the fact that they're not doing as well because LeBron isn't playing with an all-star. Ironically enough, he's now claiming that the Cavs' struggles are due to Kevin Love not being on the court. Now, if we take that as true, all they need is a center. DeAndre Ayton has time now that his tournament run is over, so I sent him to the Cavs right away.
Rich, who do you want on an NBA team?
I'm actually going to go with someone who's a little more experienced, who's not necessarily at the top of lottery drafts. I'm going to go with Rob Gray. Last night he dropped 39 points on San Diego State, and he actually dominated that game. He scored 23 of his team's 28 points in the second half. And then as a senior, he's ready for the moment. He's obviously older than Aiden, and then I think that for a team like the Thunder, he could provide a nice little scoring punch off the bench, and that's something that they may need in the playoffs.
All right, well, that'll do it for us here on Medill Sports Talk. Be sure to check out our other segments on our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter and Snapchat, Medill Sports Talk. For Lauren, Rich, and I, and our entire crew here in Chicago, thank you for watching.